Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today, did my voice go up too much when I said channel? I think it may have done and it's thrown me off. Also, I just want to say I do apologise if you can hear any kind of background noise going on. It's Boxing Day today when I'm filming this, and Honey's has his side of the family over, and his side of the family are very loud, and not in a bad way, in a good way. But they're very loud. And you're probably wondering, why am I sat upstairs filming a video when we have people over? Because I'm a fucking introvert is why. So anyway, right, so guys, today I'm going to be doing a bit of a review of the Cyber palette by Urban Decay. This is the newest palette that Urban Decay released. And one thing I really like about Urban Decay is they don't release like a lot of new things. So when they do release something, as particularly if it's a new eyeshadow palette, I feel like it is quite exciting. But then on the other hand, I have to say I've not really enjoyed or been that inspired by any of the Urban Decay new kind of eyeshadow palettes since they created the naked palettes. You know, the original ones? Look, they're so great. I can't even remember them, but you know, the first two naked palettes that they released, like it must be, oh my gosh, I don't want to think how long it was ago now, but it was a long time ago. Like, I really liked those, but I feel like it's kind of gone downhill ever since. I've not tried all of the palettes, but just going off the looks of the palette, would I want to buy them? No. And then reading reviews, I think the only one that people really loved was the cherry palette. But anyway, today is a brand new day. Someone gifted this to me for Christmas. Would I have picked it out and bought it myself? No. I have to say that, and I hope the person that very generously gave this to me is watching. But to be honest, like, this does not excite me in any way, shape or form. It just seems a bit blah, like a bit nude, a bit like a bit uninspiring, a bit boring, dare I say. It just isn't grabbing me by the vagina and saying, please experiment with me, you must get me on your eyelids right now. It's a bit of a miss, but I have it now. So do you know what? I'm going to approach this with an open mind, and we're just going to get stuck in. And you never know, I may love it, and I really hope I do love it, because I don't want this to be like a bit of a waste of money. Oh, sorry. That brush has got better places to be right now. It heard me bitching and moaning. It said, right, feck this. I'm out of here. I'm too good for this. But yeah, I don't want the person that got this to me to have wasted their money. So I am actually like seriously rooting for this palette to be good. Without further ado, we're just going to begin. I am going to prep my lids with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, which, shout out, is my favourite primer in the world. Look at me, shout out. I've never said that before. And it felt really strange. Like, you know, when you see people go, shout out. And I'm not that kind of person. It's shout out. So it just sounded really bizarre. But anyway, also I've got my little hair extension in today, which I really like, and I feel really fancy. So that's great. But anyway, guys, to begin, we are going to go in with, which of the boring, uninspiring shades do I want to go in with? Do you know what? I think I'm going to go in with this shade. Or am I? I think I'm going to go in with this shade. Also, just to say, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 shades in this palette. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those shades are kind of shimmers. So the mattes that we have in this palette all kind of look... Oh, do you know what? There's only 3 mattes. This one, and this one. And all the rest are shimmers. Like, it doesn't leave you that many places to go, does it? I just feel like, could they not have put a couple more mattes in? But no, they said no. We're going to just like throw a shitload of shimmers at this. So anyway, guys, I'm going to begin with, I can't remember which one I said. So like, I'm going to go in with this one to begin. Okay, so Urban Decay very kindly sent a little primer. What, actually, is it? Oh, it's a face primer. It's not an eye primer. Yeah, it's not an eye primer. Okay, fuck that then. Right, luckily I actually have the Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is my absolute favourite primer. Yeah, so it's been ages since I've tried a new release kind of eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. The last one I tried was, oh, actually, saying that, right, I actually really adored, and I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put a picture up here. OMG, like, I don't know if I actually still have it. And if I think I may have thrown it away because I feel like I'd had it for ages and it had gone bad. The quality just wasn't as good. So I threw it away, and then I think my intention was that I was going to repurchase it because it was that good, but I didn't. So it mustn't have been that good. But I did love it. I really loved the, the cool tone, kind of a neutral theme. So far so good with this shadow. It's blending out like super easily. I think the shade is nice. I mean, a little bit boring though, let's face it. And do we all not have this shade already in probably every single palette we own? So it probably wouldn't piss me off so much if we had like some other options for mattes in the palette, but we don't. And just knowing that this is like one of my only options is a bit disappointing. Okay, so I'm just going to keep blending this into the crease. And then I am taking it quite high up towards my brow. I mean, it blends out beautifully though. The quality is like uncritical, unable to criticize. Why didn't I just say it's very good? Why do I always have to make a mockery of myself? I'm going to go in with the peach matte. And then we're going to go into the deeper matte. I'm just going to show you it. I don't know why I feel the need to, just in case. I don't know, just in case what? You didn't believe I was going into it. I don't know. Oh, anyway, guys, right. So I'm just going to focus this just on the inner corner. Like I'm not popping it in my crease. I'm putting it, kind of high up around the edges of the first shade that we applied. Oh, these shadows though, they are super good quality. Like I cannot criticize the quality. Pigmentation's nice as well. So yeah, I can't complain really, although I'm probably going to anyway. So guys, I hope you had a really good Christmas. I hope you got everything that you wanted. I hope no one argued on Christmas Day. And most of all, I hope that you've just had a really good restful break from work. And if you've got young kids, I hope that you've rested since Christmas Day, because let's face it, it's a nightmare. I mean, I don't mean nightmare, like it's fun, but it's a tiring day. It is. Okay, so guys, I'm really liking how that is all looking. I barely had to put any effort into blending and it's just kind of blended itself. So I really can't complain about that. So next we're going to go in with the beautiful, kind of like a rusty orangey kind of shade. And I'm going to be popping that on the outer V and kind of in the crease, but I am going to use a little bit of my tape because I am addicted to it, and apparently I can't do an eye look now without this tape, and the tape's shit, like it's not even a good tape. I'm super slapdash now when I apply my tape, because in the past, like I used to spend ages, trying to get it to the right place, and I just thought to myself, well, even when I don't take any time and just slap it on, it still looks asymmetrical. So did I say asymmetrical? Can we just pretend that I know what symmetrical means? Okay, so this shadow actually looks like really pigmented, so I've just tapped off a little bit of the excess, and I'm just focusing this. Oh, hey, Luna Boons, is it a bit loud downstairs? Oh, Luna, she's an introvert like me. She's come up, she said, oh my gosh, it's too loud. Can't be dealing with that. Hey girl, how's it going? Oh, this is a beautiful shadow, and again, it's just blending out beautifully. Like, it's blending out so good, and it's making me want to actually try some of Urban Decay's other new releases, because I just feel like I'm not very good at makeup, and I'm making this look easy. I'm not having to like break my back trying to, blend these shadows. They're just, can you see, just blending absolutely beautifully. God, do you know what? I may have to treat myself. I may have to repurchase the palette that I loved, because that was like an everyday palette for me. And there was a shade in it that's very similar to this. Oh my gosh, this tape is such a pain in the vagina. Right, so I'm just going to blend this a little bit more. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I'm sold on Urban Decay. These eyeshadows blend easier than any other eyeshadow that I've tried in a long time. Oh, Luna's fecked off into her bedroom, and she loves pulling my fairy lights down. It's like her favourite thing to do. Okay, so I think it's time for us to try one of the shimmers. But first, in true typical me style, I'm going to create a really poorly executed cut crease. Okay, so as promised, I present to you a really poorly executed cut crease. I've only gone kind of halfway in because I didn't want to destroy the look too much. So now we're ready to go in with our shimmer, and it's kind of tough picking which one I want to go in with. And I have to say that, you know, now I'm holding the palette up in front of my lights, these shimmers do look really, really beautiful. I'm just kind of a little bit like dubious as to whether, you know, the super cool tone shades would really look great with the kind of matte shades that I've used. So I'm a little bit like unsure which one to go for, but I mean this one here, this kind of taupey shade is, I was gonna say it's really calling out to my vagina, but it's not. That doesn't look great, guys. It just looks a bit chunky and Okay, there's this shade which is kind of similar to the matte, but it's a shimmer. So let's see what that one looks like. Oh, it's very underwhelming. Like, I'm just not into that kind of sheer bit of a shimmer, but let's just pop in some little tiny glitters. Just not the look that I get down with. So let's try maybe Call It, which is this. Okay, so this is kind of like a rosy gold. Yeah, I'm going to go in with that one. Or am I? Let's just try this one. Oh, so that's nice. That's kind of like a gold. It's nothing special though. Like, I just don't think it's... The shimmers are very captivating, interesting, beautiful, and they feel quite rough, and I don't know, they're just not great. Do you know what? I'm just going to take a gamble. I'm going to go in with... What's Y2K like? Okay, so that one's... Oh, that's nice. Oh my gosh, this is what we're going in with. Okay, let's do a little swatch so you can see her. Yeah, that's going to be the one. Let's... Oh, I thought I had loads of fallout, but then I realised, no, it's just my faux freckles. For you. Oh my gosh. Anyway, right. Let's just pop this on. So I've actually used a different kind of concealer today for my cut crease. I used this one by Makeup Revolution. It's the cut crease concealer in the lightest, like stark white shade. I just thought, oh, I'll give it a go, see how she goes. She's shit. I forgot actually how shit she is. So she's definitely actually not the best base in which to, you know, apply eyeshadow over the top. But oh my gosh, like, I'm really liking this shade. It's not the most kind of out there or like, you know, stunning. Like, you're not going to see her from across the room. But when you catch a glimpse of her up close, she's beautiful. She's like a pearly kind of pearl with hints of icy blue, and then a tiny little bit of like a modest bit of glitter in. I think it looks really nice. And as I said, like, no, she's not going to like win any awards for the most sensational shimmer ever in the world, but I still think she's really beautiful. Like, I do. But do you know what? Do I love her like 100%? No. Okay, because I'm not falling madly and deeply in love with her, I am going to go in with this shade, which is called Call It. And this was like the pinky kind of gold shade. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of work this one over the top. Oh, this is nice. Like, again, she's very subtle. She's not super, like, in your face. I'm just going to take that off now. That looks strange, doesn't it? Why does that? Anyway, right, basically, I got the tape in completely the wrong place, but I feel I can save it in a minute. But anyway, I'm going to try not to get distracted. She says getting distracted. Okay, so what I will say from the swatches that I've done, and from seeing how these two shimmers have actually, you know, how they've gone onto the lid, I think that the shimmers in this palette are very like sheer. You don't get like a wash of glow. You just get like a very subtle kind of modest little bit of like a sheen, and that's fine, you know, there's a time and a place for a modest sheen. But for me, when I'm using like a shimmer, I want it to be like so opaque and just look glowy and like melted metal on your lid. So for me, this, like, I'm not really going to be reaching for this palette for the shimmer, let's put it that way. But saying that, I still think it looks nice. It's just not like probably whatever this palette costs nice, if that makes sense. I'm just going to try and recover this situation, so I'm just going to bring it down a little bit like that. Pray for me, like seriously pray for me. So I'm going back in. I say that, I'm not even religious, I don't believe in God, but I think it's okay to say pray for me, because, you know, you could be praying to the god of makeup, do you know what I mean? Okay, so let's see, did it work? Yeah, I'd say it did. Okay, so I've done the other side, but I just wanted to show you, because over on this side, I used this shade Electrode, and I've just kind of used it where the matte meets the shimmer, just like, you know, blend over that transition, just to make it a little bit more interesting, let's say, and seamless. Don't know if seamless could ever be used in a sentence regarding a makeup look that I am actually doing, but anyway, so I'm just gonna do it on the other side, just pop a little bit over here. Honestly, like this shadow is not that dissimilar from the other shadow that we've used, any of the other shadows we've used, but it does have a slight bit more opacity to it and a little bit of like a gold glow. So yeah, that's why I'm using it. I just feel like, oh my gosh, the shimmers in this palette are so poor. Like, they're not bad quality, they're just really boring. So anyway, oh shit, I got a little bit of fallout, can you see? Oh no. But what can I do, guys? What can I do? I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should get my beauty sponge, shouldn't I, and go back over it. But the beauty sponge, she's in the bathroom, and I'm so lazy. I'm going to just go get her in a little bit. But anyway, so guys, this is what we have going on. So now we're going to move on to the under eye, and I'm basically just going to be taking the rusty kind of orange shade that I really liked, actually. I'm going to be taking that like under the eye. I'm going to stop about here, and then I'm going to switch to this kind of peach shade, and then we're going to go in with a bit of the golden shimmer that I've just used on my lid. I'm going to be going in with that in the inner corner, and then I'll bring it down a little bit. So okay, so this is the final look. I had to like rush with everything else because I'm just conscious it's getting really dark outside, and I wanted you to see everything like and how it was looking. I popped a little bit of Milani's Luminoso blush on, which I've realised I rushed way too much because it's not blended at all. But yeah, I'm just going to blend this as I'm talking. But basically, I really like the look that I've created. I think it's really, really nice. And I like the mattes in the palette. The quality is outstanding and some of the best I've ever tried. So the mattes were, oh my gosh, so beautiful. However, I just wasn't wildly blown away by the shimmers slash metallics. I just don't think they're that interesting or exciting, and for that reason, I mean, I'm going to be regifting the palette. I'll obviously say that I've used it. I won't just like pretend I've not used it, pop it back in the box and wrap it up. Like, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to give it to someone else who I think may enjoy a palette that doesn't really have great shimmers in. But saying that again, like, the reason why they're not great isn't because they're not great quality. It's just because they're just all so similar, and I know they don't look that similar here, but because they're so sheer and there's no real backbone to them when they're actually on the lid, like, you can barely see them anyway. So the fact that they look different in the pan but when they're on the lid, because they shade, they just look the same. So yeah, unfortunately for me, I'm not a huge fan of the Cyber palette, but what it has definitely like inspired me to do is to go and repurchase that palette that I absolutely loved, because I forgot how good Urban Decay's mattes are. So yeah, someone bought me a gift basically, which was so kind, but I didn't really like said gift, so now I'm just going to go spend money on the actual palette that I really like. Okay, so guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!